by 1 p.m. I've literally solved, the hunger crisis of the world.
He's like, I figured out what I will eat for lunch.
And then Dish and that.
Good morning, Shah.
Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good, very nice.
I'm
Good
very
morning
excited.
to Prashant.
Oh my God. Okay, we're starting right off the bat.
This is our special guest for today.
Oh my God. Our third person on the
Apna
table.
Prashant.
Apna Prashant. I love Prashant. It's actually my favorite breakfast.
Yeah?
Sorry, Sadhvi.
For those who don't know, our close friend Prashant Iyer.
Why did you say best and then you took
but
it back?
I didn't,
Whoa. What's the beef?
Because we're best friends, Lisa.
Oh, wow. Okay,
I'm
okay.
saving that spot for you. It's only reserved for
Prashant, he got beef with you early in the morning. He was like our close friend.
Yeah. Shout out to Prashant and shout out to
our not best friend, Prashant.
and shout out to Croissants as well.
Croissant.
Lisa, we're doing a morning episode and we're having a nice spread of breakfast.
I love a spread.
And, this week on the internet or this last month has just been filled with breakfast items going viral,
That's
plus
right.
also
Routines going
morning
viral.
routines, very icy morning routines.
Oh my God, that dude.
How, it's so funny because when I was in Goa last month, Dino was doing this at least twice a day.
Was he using Saratoga water?
No, he was not. He was using Bisleri. Actually, I think he was using tap water from the Goa taps. But
I feel like that undoes the benefits.
It could be. And then no. He actually got a bunch of ice and a little bit of water. But he used to be like, bro, this makes you feel so good. It makes you feel young.
It does actually. So I will say there are benefits
Yeah.
to using ice water. Tightens your
Yes.
skin and your pores. Also, it's just like a nice shock to the system.
Yeah.
Like, mentally you feel like I'm awake.
Yeah.
Whereas my morning routine is just like extreme disorientation.
Yeah.
I do not believe in an ice to the face morning.
And just like in the viral video, the way the guy jumps in the pool and it takes him like 4 minutes to jump in. Dino does the same thing. He jumps.
There's like a timestamp on
Yeah.
that video where the guy's jump is like from 7:40 to 7:46. I was like, what?
You know what's
How long did he jump in the air?
You know what's actually crazy? It's like I remember when we used to enter in that pool, it would take me like a good
To adjust.
10 seconds to like talk myself into like getting into the water, and Dino would just jump in like, oh my God, I feel amazing. I'm with nature. I'm part of.
By the way, have
know?
you done an ice bath yet?
I've not done an ice bath.
Oh my God, are you uncultured?
Am I basic?
Are you poor?
Am I just
Can you
happy
not
with my
afford
body
ice?
temperature? And,
Ice
Yeah.
is free. It's just frozen water.
Really?
Yeah.
Ice is free. So the bags we get, when we throw parties, that's just that we
You
don't.
can just make that shit at home, bro.
We could actually. Yeah.
But I do love an ice bath. I went to my first what's it called? Temperature therapy. I'm forgetting the phrase for it, but it's like a
Cryotherapy.
No, it's not
No.
cryotherapy. There's some word for when you switch between the two.
Okay.
And the whole thing is like an hour long. And it was like a 4-minute cycle
Yeah.
in insanely cold water.
Yeah.
And then you switch to a sauna, and then you come back, and then you do it 3 rounds, and you end on the sauna to complete. And in between, you're taking like a quick shower for 1 second to re-regulate your body temperature. Yo, I asked that dude, I was like, who does well in this? And he's like, consistently, women can last way longer, always longer.
In the different temperatures.
In the extreme cold.
Oh wow.
Because I went zen. I got into that pool and I'm like,
Is that because you guys
am
have
I
really,
God? Am I better than everyone?
Is this because you have warm hearts or cold hearts? I don't know. I can't tell the difference.
Well, you know me. Would a woman so heartless?
Ooh.
Yeah, but no, for real, that ice bath was really fine for me. I thought it was because of Chicago, because it's cold as hell over there.
It's windy. Windy for sure.
But it was amazing.
Speaking of Kanye West, sorry to interrupt you there.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about my man.
I mean, I don't want to go too much into it, but since we were speaking about morning routines, before we get to the tough stuff about Kanye, morning routine. Actually, good morning has been my no. Don't do that to Admiral Kanye. Put him back. Good
I don't know
morning.
about that.
Good morning has been my morning alarm track since probably 2012, I've been waking up to Good Morning, and I always know, like, I sleep through it, and then as soon as Jay-Z comes in on the ad-libs by the third verse, that's when I get up.
Yeah.
And it repeats, but that boom, boom,
Such a good intro.
Oh my God, that just reminds me of the morning all the time.
That
all the
song,
time.
I remember specifically crossing the highway, listening to it. It had just come out like a day before the album.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I have a very distinct memory of crossing from Illinois to Indiana, the tollway.
Yeah.
And being like, damn, what a song. But that's one.
Bro cooked.
I was like, wake up, Mr. West, by himself, he's so impressed.
Yeah. You got D's, motherfucker D's, Rosie Perez.
And it was such a good. This is my dissertation.
Welcome
Homie,
to
shit.
basic. Welcome to graduation. Good morning.
Oh
My
man,
God.
it was a time. My morning song is very different.
Yeah.
It's "Swimmers" by 07
Ooh.
because it's just a calm way to start your morning.
Yeah.
I used to post a bunch of these videos. I guess I was the original morning routine influencer because I was doing this shit during the pandemic in 2020. I would post these videos of like making my coffee and like at this time I was listening to this song and then I would clean up my house and do damn.
Okay, while we talk, I'm just
I
gonna.
think I'm better than everyone.
I've actually not eaten anything today, so
shit,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna dig in. Guys, we have food for our audio listeners. We have ordered a nice breakfast spread from both Java File and
Masa Bakery.
Masa Bakery in Juhu, very close to our creative producer's office. Shout out to Prachi Mashru one time and her whole team. And we are eating a fruit bowl, egg white omelet with feta because we're pure and healthy now.
That's right.
I will not be touching that sourdough. There is avocado toast with sliced avocado and smashed.
Damn, they were like,
Smash.
there's a 2-for-1 sale on avocado.
Yeah. And apna Prashant from Masa Bakery with a pen au chocolat.
My favorite thing is the mini pancakes because they remind
And
me
mini
of
pancakes,
a
sorry.
dish I love, which is puri idli.
It actually does.
It looks like,
It actually looks
I had it for dinner 2 nights ago at
Ooh.
Tanjore.
Oh, it's Tanjore?
Oh my God, it was
Oh
so
my
good. Because
God.
they dip the crap out of that in ghee. And
Yeah,
it's
they
so
do.
nice.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my God, that ghee in the puri idli is...
Shout out to Tanjore Tiffin Room one time.
So,
I love that that prawn sundal thing they have.
bro, that's what we had.
With the coconut
chunks.
chunks. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
we had the prawn
Beauty.
sundal and the puri idli.
Beauty. Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay.
I am firmly a no breakfast girly.
Oh my God.
I don't like eating breakfast. I'll tell you the dumbest reason for this. For some reason, I wake up and if I eat, I get tired again. Like I feel like carb heavy or whatever, and then I get sleepy. So I
Yeah.
used to avoid eating breakfast my whole life. Now my breakfast has become very French because I want to tell you that I'm better than everyone. If we have not established for third time on this episode, I am better than you. And that's because I am French. So I have a Prashant and a coffee
Oh my
now.
God, Juhu apples.
Are you gonna
taste
have a Prashant?
different. I'm gonna have a small bite of Prashant. No.
All right, Masa. Okay.
No Diddy.
Let me say one thing
Huh.
about Prashants.
Yeah.
There's actually a definitive rating for me in Bombay of who makes the
Oh.
best Prashant.
Really?
Yeah, because I have friends coming from Paris all the time.
Oh, yes.
And I did this like test on them of saying, what do you think?
Yeah.
There's one place that they were shocked. They're like, this is better than Paris, which is Suzette Bakery. Suzette Bakery makes an insanely good Prashant. So does Subco. And now we're going to test if Masa lives up.
Whoa, this pancake is incredible. Oh my God.
It's good, but it's not
good?
that level.
Oh, come. I think I'm not one to have such a vast knowledge of Prashants, but I will say there is this one bakery right next to Bougie, which is called Suchali's.
Suchali.
Which is from Calcutta, I think. They have amazing tarts and amazing like croissant sandwiches.
Hey, you
Prashant
don't have
sandwiches.
to call her a tart. She's a really nice woman.
Oh, I thought you were a feminist, Lisa.
That's what I said.
calling girls
Don't
tarts?
call her a tart.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, great little snacks. You know, when you're, normally when I would go for a walk on Carter Road, I'd walk past, be like, hey, should I pick something up? Should I pick up?
Okay,
should I pick
let's
up
talk
a
about
pain au
Why do we
chocolat.
reward ourselves right after a good workout? Everyone's like, I deserve a little snacky snack.
Honestly, now
Undid all the 10,000 steps.
my new routine now is which was I was gonna get to that. After playing paddle, having a kombucha at the Java file on Carter Road,
Booch
where
Bay.
when the sun is shining and you're like looking at the sea and you're having your
That's your
kombucha.
brand, right? The Booch Bay.
No,
one
no,
that you
I'm
like?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit of a bucha hoe. Like I try all the companies and I enjoy all of them and I endorse all of them.
He's got a Booch station.
Even if a Booch brand offered me a lot of money, I'd be like, no, because I would like to try all types of Booch. And you know what's so weird?
Is this also like a metaphor for a woman?
No.
And dating.
That's actually what happened. So I put up post paddle Booch the other day and my DMs were flooded with, do you know what Booch means in Marathi? Or Boch or something?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Someone said it means female private part.
Oh no.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
and also
no.
in general, there's a bad negative connotation to it. But I said, if you actually search what Booch means on Google, it says the hip hop community refers it to kombucha. So I was like,
Good.
I'm bang on. That's literally
There's another
that's
word that
literally
rhymes
my
with
community.
Booch.
That's my community.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
speaking of this, actually, her morning routine every morning, she calls me right after where like we were already spoken before going to sleep about some gossip, and then in the morning she has an update. So
I have a 10 a.m. fill-in for Shah, and he's like, I literally just spoke to
pause a fill-in for
went out. I've only been sleeping for 4 hours. Why are you calling me with updates? I'm like, there's a lot of shit happened in 10 hours, bro.
yeah, in her dreams.
And mostly my dreams.
Yeah,
Just my speculations about people,
yeah.
current events, We'll kind of
But
have
like
a catch up.
in general, I know my morning routine has kind of changed.
Okay.
Because
Because
I
of
do
me.
I do actually enjoy waking up really early now. So the earliest I've woken up in the last kind of 6 to 8 months has been 7 a.m. so I can get to an 8 a.m. paddle game.
Yeah.
And honestly, the way I attack the day
When
after,
you're, dude. of
after having
course.
that rush of paddle and that adrenaline, and then at the end of the day, at least by 5 p.m., maybe I need like a little tiny nap. But just in general, my morning routine, like I'm conquering everything by 1 p.m.
Agreed.
By 1 p.m., I've literally solved, the hunger crisis of the world, and I've
As in your own hunger crisis.
my own hunger.
He's like, I know what I want
of
for
my
lunch.
world, of my world.
He's like, I have figured out what I will eat for lunch.
And then and I've had at least 1 or 2 coffees, and I've also just made my list, and I probably cut that list in half because I've already done all the tasks rhyming about this morning timing. And would you like to chime in?
No, you got to cut your whining. But my morning routine got a fan club, which is so weird. Basically, I was doing 90 hard, which is 75 hard plus 15 days.
Shout out to all the morning Mishris out there.
Yeah, all the morning Mishris. And then there was just a week where I was traveling to Mexico for my Nike campaign.
Floss.
Which is crazy.
Flex, Lisa, flex.
So we were
Her
shooting
Nike
this
campaign in Mexico.
We shot a Nike campaign in Mexico City. You can see the billboards as you enter C-Link now. I'm all over Bombay, which is sick. But because of that, the time zones changed. And there was a flood of DMs because every day for 2 months I'd been posting, I'm up at 5:30 and I'm on the courts to play tennis 6 to 7:30 a.m. And they were like, oh, are you quitting on us? Are you not doing your 6 a.m.? I'm like, damn, y'all are holding me accountable. And they're like, you fell off. You're not our favorite artist anymore. We're going to come light your house on fire. It was
What? Arson?
It was arson.
Early birds do end up getting the worm. But
and they also have time to light a house on fire.
and,
There's so many hours
and
in the day.
work on their volleys and serves. Yeah.
But yeah, I think honestly, shout out to Racket Sports for changing our morning routine because
Legit.
I genuinely feel like now we found an activity and a hobby, and like that's part of.
Honestly, the happiness that paddle gives me, and I wrote about this in my gratitude journal the other day. The pleasure I get of defeating an opponent. And like
sorry. I'm
defeating-
sorry. I thought it was going to be something like the pleasure I derive from my routine and it's wholesome.
Defeating an opponent once a day and smashing on this person is just like there's no feeling like that.
I really love this part of your journey where you've stopped smashing in another way and started smashing in this way.
What's crazy actually though, I have realized I do have a bit of anger, like I need to manage my anger on the court. But like it's just internally, if anyone takes too much time on the court, I'm
You're
livid,
like, I don't have this.
livid,
I don't have this energy.
livid.
So
But anyways,
so our tennis group has this entire thing where initially they thought I was a competitive one, and now they've started self-reporting and being like, okay, it's not just Lisa, all of us are psychotic. And I was like, yeah, thank you. I just like rules. My thing is not that I think I'm better than you. My thing is follow the rules. Just do the thing you're supposed to do and do it on time. No time violations. No extras after you double fault. Like, let's just keep it moving.
Forget all that. Etiquettes, people. Etiquette when you're playing a sport. Don't waste time in between.
Yeah, of course.
Move to your position if you're playing doubles.
I agree.
And get to move in. And also,
This is clearly, we've touched a very hot button topic.
Little things like also like now, when you hit the net and it goes over and you win the point, you kind of apologize and say sorry.
That's right. That's part
of
of racket sport etiquette. Is you're not supposed to celebrate on luck.
100%.
Because it is luck. If the ball could have
100%.
gone either way, if it ends up on their side, you just say the classic tennis thing on television. You see every major athlete in the world. They go, sorry. It's nice. You're learning sportsmanship. You're learning anger management. Speaking of, we're really learning how to adult.
Yes,
Finally.
we are.
Some would
100%.
say we're like, we kind of are old now. But like sexy.
I'm
Old in like a sexy way.
I'm proud of us because both of us have
Grown the fuck up.
grown the fuck up, and even like entered new chapters of our life.
I know. It's crazy.
And the responsibilities have doubled.
Yeah.
But
I am not with child. But because it really sounded like this was a layup to announce a pregnancy or
Guys,
something. He's like,
you've been
"She's
wanting to
taking
ship
off."
us, and we skipped a step. We went straight to the
There's a
baby.
dish, baby.
Yeah.
No, that's not a thing. But
Yeah.
no, I think we are because like you're expanding your work.
Yes.
And you got a new studio
Yes.
now.
So I am renting a new place in Bandra. Of course, I will not leave Bandra unless I'm doing the podcast for Prachi.
For Prachi, we love you.
And basically, I am starting my own audio production company.
First of all, aesthetics. This dude fucking knows what
Come
he's
on.
doing. Like
Yeah.
the space looks adult.
Yeah.
And it's not that dingy vibe that let's talk about dingy studio
Let's
vibes.
talk about minimalistic, soulless recording studios, which
You can't just drown a place in red light and be like, I have a studio now.
honestly, I'm kind of guilty of. I added 2 tube lights. My interior designer friend has been giving me shit for putting these tube lights. But at the
Shout
same
out to Pooja.
Yeah, for me, I think mostly all my best sessions have been in Goa, where I'm in a nice villa and I have a nice view. I don't have the best view, to be honest.
No, but you have light, which
but I
people
have-
don't. Yeah.
Yeah. And in general, just like a comfy atmosphere, like you're at home. Like I look
Yeah.
at the studio as an extension of my home, but also this is where I create. This is where I can have other artists feel comfortable to create and
Also,
create an environment for them.
He has
Yeah.
really good snacky snacks.
I have the best type of snacks. Got popcorn. I got kombucha.
He had Takis yesterday.
I didn't actually order the Takis, so Blinkit has been sending Takis for free.
That shit is so good.
And she opened it, and I was like, "Oh my god, these taste."
Because he didn't realize
they were fake Takis.
Dynamitas.
They're
the Doritos
Dorito
ones.
Takis, yeah.
Dotakis.
Yeah, don't Takis.
But when I opened it,
Don't talk about
he'd
it.
never had it before. He was like, "Oh, that shit looks rank." And then he had one. He was like, "Yo, this is really
So it's so
good."
funny. I kept it behind all the healthy snacks.
Yeah.
just to.
But
yeah,
you have the iced teas, the kombuchas, the Diet Cokes.
I think I'm the most that I'm happy about of having this new space is that I told you about this. Like whenever I used to mix at home till like 3 a.m., as soon as I would shut my laptop off, I would end up pacing around my house with my AirPods on, listening to the same mix for like a good 2 hours. And my work would not stop until, I would be in bed falling asleep listening to the mix. Whereas now I finish my work,
Work-life balance.
I lock up, and I take a rig home, and it's super close to my
Eat
house
a nice
as well.
little snack, go to paddle.
And no,
Finish
I'm
everything?
talking about 3 a.m. when you're finished, like your ears are gone. But then
He's first one on the court.
yeah. But basically, yeah, you're completely right. Work-life balance, which I don't think I ever had because I'm sure all bedroom producers and studios, know that like having your desk right next to your bed it's also there's plus and minuses to it, and you're able to create whenever you want to. You can wake up from a dream being like, oh my god, I have this killer hook and I need to go, execute it. But at the same time, sometimes you don't know when to start or you don't know when to end.
I firmly believe in separating the space because I've never had a studio in my home for this reason. Also because it motivates me to like get out of my house
100%.
and be like, okay, I'm in a place of work. I can't dick around for 6 hours. I paid for my session time.
You can't dick around.
For 6 hours because I paid for the session time. I have to make use of it. Like it puts you in a routine. Like it trains you to be aware of the space and the responsibility towards the work.
I totally agree.
I am moving to my own place after 3 years, and I'm really excited. Yeah, and it's the first time I've had something interior design.
Can you please eat some food?
I told you I'm not a breakfast person.
Have some of the avocado.
Okay, I will.
Go for it.
So Prashant's wife, our friend, Prashant's wife, our friend, incredible interior designer, Kara Hem Designs, Sadhvi, is helping design my home, and it's been incredible because like the ultimate adult thing you can do is what you just described, right? Your own space. I'm choosing the paint color. I'm choosing to like create furniture and have like this bedroom is for this reason. This bedroom is for that reason.
Love that.
So I feel very like, wow, this is the first home I'm making in Bombay. Everything else was a house. And even though like I had great furniture, I knew design, at no point did any of my homes before this look like they weren't thought out. But they didn't feel like mine. They felt like everything could just be moved in a day, and no part of me would be left behind in the previous place. So I like that I'm putting my own touch into this home.
I love that.
And obviously we're gonna do a havan because you gotta get out those negative spirits.
100%.
First, like day one, you gotta make sure that you're, alert about your space, protecting the energy, protecting the space. So there's a lot of that.
And also, you're back in the hood.
The happiest person.
She's back in the 5-0.
I was in the 5-4 for a little bit.
Yeah, she's back in the 40050. Even my boy Rishabh is also these days always in 40050. Actually, Rishabh is just all over the map these days.
Let's talk about Rishabh for 2 seconds.
Yeah, shout out to Rishabh.
Shout out to Rishabh, who he was our person who films everything that we do. But also, oh my God, Rishabh's
the glow up.
I was literally gonna say his professional glow up into superstar
Photographer and superstar content guy.
It's insane.
In general.
And also, I love Rishabh. How old are you? 23?
23.
Yeah, he has the energy of a 23-year-old.
Jordan energy.
Jordan energy. It's your Jordan year.
Energy.
That's a big year.
Yeah.
So I love a 23-year-old who's like, well, I had like an hour between the other set that I was filming, so I just got 200 pictures of you too. And I'm like, you could not pay me to do an extra task for my own self. If somebody was like, hey, there's 10 minutes extra, do you want to run through your set? I'd be like, have you heard of naps? But when you are past 30 and your bones hurt, you're like, no new tasks, no extra things. Whereas he's like, I have 12 extra bones.
I love that.
I was gonna say pterodactyl. Sorry.
Pterodactyl.
What am I trying to say?
No, but he do be running around.
Polydactyl.
Like actually, quick funny story. I actually met Rishabh for the music video I did called Hustle Hai at Pillai College in Navi Mumbai. And
what year?
This is 2021, I guess. And
you were like 12.
Yeah. He was 19. But basically, long story short, I had a BTS guy then. But Rishabh was the BTS guy and the main content guy for that college. And he was running around behind my BTS. So we made a joke that he's the BTS of the BTS.
The BTS of the BTS.
And he had his own BTS guy as well. So it was full BTS inception.
The BTS metaverse.
But then I saw how hungry this guy was that day, and I fired my guy. And
Bichara
I was like, you are my new BTS guy. And he's directed videos for me. We've done photo shoots. He's done my last 2 album shoots.
Yeah.
He's doing our podcast. And he's working with the biggest artists today.
It's mad.
Seedhe Maut. He's on tour with Seedhe Maut. And he's also He's shot literally every big festival. He's there.
I know, because he
Yeah.
was at Lala and he wasn't even my video person, and he's like, I got pictures of you too, and I was like,
I remember
I just want you,
one of the
my little
craziest
child is growing
memories.
up.
Me and Prachi were at NH7 in the crowd, like going crazy, and YG's performing, and suddenly I see Rishabh.
Oh my God, I
see
know.
Rishabh behind on the big screen. I was like, come on.
Bro, Rishabh got the
Beautiful.
best shots of everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're at a show and you see Rishabh with the camera,
Smile.
smile. You never know where you're gonna end up on
Yeah.
what page.
You're on
of
Candid
what.
camera.
You're honestly on Rishabh's camera at all
Yeah.
times.
Shout out to Rishabh. Big
I
love,
always
bro.
feel like Rishabh is watching me. That's what Breaking news.
So off camera, we were just munching on our avocado toast. How is the avocado toast, by the way?
Oh, so avocado.
It's so good. The avocado quality is insane.
Is it walnut? No, that's a chestnut.
Hazelnut.
I don't know what morning properties this has, but
It also has pine nuts. No, that has sunflower seeds. Sunflower
it's
seeds.
so yummy.
Love that. Breaking news off camera right there. Our creative producer Prachi Mashru just told us about this new innovation within the music industry. Serato DJ has paired up with Apple Music to create seamless, music sync between the Apple Music catalog for DJs to, instantly and seamlessly live mix, which is amazing because I am a strong advocate for DJs.
Requests?
No, for requests and pull-ups, but also I am a strong advocate for more originals. Like, I'm really tired of mashups and remixes. And I tweeted about this. I'll throw up the tweet. I remember saying, like, dude, just play the fucking original. Like, sometimes, like, just classic hip-hop songs, you don't need the drop and the... You just need the fucking original, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's so underrated today. Even
Wait, so I'm sorry. Before
Yeah.
we even continue,
Yeah.
what do all of these words mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
original songs, like the...
No, but that...
Yeah.
Boy just asked me, do you know what an original song
What are
is?
you talking about?
I'm
Which
talking about,
words?
so, like, the tech behind this. What does it do?
So what it is normally when someone is using Serato, right? Every piece of music that you are able to load up and play is what you have on your computer or on a drive.
Oh, so they
Yeah.
have the catalog of Apple Music,
Literally
so you can download live.
Yeah. Which is that is some groundbreaking stuff
Okay.
for DJs.
So my earlier joke was correct when I said you can take live requests.
yeah, take live requests.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
Because nothing in the world that the DJ wants more than 25 people shouting at him, play this one next.
I'm not even lying. I've seen so many DJs be nice enough to rip off something from YouTube right then and there and play it because their laptop is right there. It takes them 2 minutes to do it. Shout out
Why
YT
not?
to MP3. I use it all the time. All of us do. But I'm saying that is it's modern. It's you're at the end of the day. I don't like requests unless it's that's your boy or whatever like that. Like I've also when I used to MC for a lot of DJs in Mumbai at like Social and Rasta and all these places, we used to get like notes passed to us saying play this Bollywood song or play Justin Bieber or whatever like that. And it's annoying, but we've all been there on the other side of that. We've all
But
wanted
also,
songs played
this is
and shit,
a way
right?
to actually monetize the music again.
100%.
Like, artists will get
Yay.
paid. Yeah.
Well-
artists get paid because before they were getting rips off
Yeah,
YouTube.
like-
Sorry, YouTube
like
converter.
5 paisa. 5-6 paisa.
YouTube to
Thank
MP3
you.
converter is going to be out of business now because Apple
Yeah.
Music is going to pay people for their songs.
But that is a good perspective, to look at it in that way that it does.
It's a stream.
And you know what's crazy? There's a bunch of websites where basically you can buy mixes of other producers and DJs. They're selling their mixes online and stuff. So it's like technically you are paying for the music, but in some ways, like within the DJ community,
But I'm sure that's
there is
what's
a
next.
system. There is a system. 100%.
I'm saying that I'm sure that's what's next is to
100%.
monetize mixes.
And shout out to all the DJs who are, constantly. Just think about it. Back in the day, like people used to lug around like vinyl crates and like
But
those
to-
CD bags, and like
To be fair though,
Yeah.
that's the real art.
that is real art.
I love seeing an actual disc
I love
jockey.
that. I love that. I don't think we have enough of like all
We
vinyl.
don't. People who actually
all
spin,
vinyl
it's such
sets.
it's an art.
Yeah.
It's like an actual real
Shout out
art.
to all the real turntablists and the record and vinyl enthusiasts
Yeah.
and
That
true
shit's
audiophiles.
hard work.
Yeah,
But yeah, very cool.
very cool. Also, another.
I finished my entire avocado toast, so I feel like
I was literally begging her to eat breakfast, and while we
Listen.
just spoke about all that,
I mean, we can circle back to now. I
you
feel
wanna
like
circle
I'll
back?
I'm gonna circle back.
kind regards. Yeah.
RGDS.
Yeah.
Regards.
Regards.
Yeah, because I'm an adult now, so I eat breakfast, I guess. And again, I would just like to remind everyone I am better than them.
Yeah.
Because the glow from the avocado that you guys are going to experience, like my skin going through it, you're going to be blinded by the routine human being that you're witnessing right now.
Before we switch the topic, an email sign off that like stuck in my head from the last week. Someone sent me an email and the sign off was smiles. It made me smile. I'm not gonna lie.
Gen Z.
Smiles, comma, and the name.
I like
love that.
a rigid, cantankerous old person going,
Cold regards.
no, not regards. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
best.
Yeah.
Best comma. That's how I sign
Best.
everything. Best. Not even like sending my best. Sending you. No.
Yeah.
Best regards. You gotta just be like, this is official. This is an email. Otherwise, it would have been a text.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you to smile. We not friends.
Hugs.
You owe me money. I sent you an invoice. No smiling out here.
Clear.
Give me my money.
Clear. Give me my money. Lisa, there is a TV series on Netflix that we need to speak about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
A limited series is what they call it, 4
yeah.
episodes. I've been saying on our group chat, I've been telling
Yeah.
them on our group chat, guys, watch this show.
You and Soupy were the first two to
And
watch it.
honestly, this show blew my fucking mind as well as the rest of the world.
Yeah. For many reasons.
It is called Adolescence. If you've
Oof.
not watched it, I'm pretty sure everyone's watched it right now. So spoiler alert, if you've not watched it, we're about to break it down for y'all.
Yeah.
But what I would love to say, first of all, from someone who's been behind the camera and in front of camera, like full props and respect to what they did on that show.
Fuck, it's crazy. The choreography of movement and mind and everything.
50-minute episodes,
All one
in one take. Multiple guys, camera operators.
Handing off to each other.
Handing off to each other, drones flying across towns, and just
Can
in
you
general.
imagine like taking a handheld rig and then passing it on to clip onto a drone and using a stabilizer and making sure that's
And
crazy.
that's easily a $30,000 to $50,000 camera,
Yeah.
for sure, like a proper red camera.
And if you don't hook that thing onto the little airplane and it falls,
a little airplane,
that little airplane is gonna crash that camera.
Oh my god!
But it's crazy. I mean, the execution of it from a technical standpoint, that's wild
Incredible.
to me. And I'm seeing every single major filmmaker and industry person in India is writing about the show.
Yeah,
And
100%.
A
I love
lot
that.
of it is the discourse around why can't we make stuff like this? And I agree. I'm just like, I'm so tired of seeing run down, played out narratives and the assumption that we're too dumb to ask for something more. I mean, our audience is not dumb.
Not at all.
They deserve better programming. They deserve well-written stories. They deserve innovation. Like, I'm so done.
I don't even want to make it about Bollywood because I know they'll find a cheesy way to copy this. Sorry, I have my...
Bachpania.
Yeah. But I think Javani.
Giovanni.
Yeah. I think honestly, what I love about that show is, before we get to like the actual themes and what it is, what I love about that show from the technical standpoint, the style of storytelling is, I remember they said this in one of the interviews, it's like they're only revealing what they show you, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like in a normal TV show where you can show another scene, which, the backstory of these two people speaking ends up coming to this. It's everything you're seeing in real time, which is so crazy because I think...
I mean, it's the first-person POV of somebody as if they were just in the room the whole time.
And you're the fly on the wall, just following everything that's happening. And I thought, like, how in certain shows they put little nuances which will keep coming back. Like, so Ashley Walters, who plays the main detective, you see him at the in the beginning talking about how he has to eat apples to get over cigarettes, and then throughout you see him
eating apples.
Eating apples. It just shows you that it is really in real time. Like you feel the urgency of every little thing.
Yeah.
You know, and
everything is intentional. Everything is written out, and like so in order to execute a show like this, not only talking from a technical standpoint, for an actor, right?
Oh my God.
By the way, I get asked this question a lot, and I might get crucified for the answer, which is what's harder, music or acting? And I used to always say music because it's me writing my story, pouring my heart out to a live audience, letting them have an opportunity to judge that, to whatever degree they want. Whereas an actor, the script is written for them, the director's directing them, the light guy's doing their thing. And I said the only asterisk I put on that is theater actors. Because the challenge of executing something live at a high level all the time automatically makes it much harder,
100%.
right? So it's like that, but on film. So that's when I was watching this, I was like,
expensive.
You have to be so well versed in your character as an actor to pull this off.
Character.
You have to, and all this stuff about people being like, yeah, bro, I'm trying to be the character. I'm doing method. There's nothing more method than the way the show was done. Because if you're remembering this guy who has to eat an apple in every single shot because that's his motivation for the next shot and the next shot, that you don't get a second cut. Yeah. You're just like, that's your mental continuity. That's your emotional continuity. I think it's so impressive to have been that 13-year-old kid.
Wow.
And first of all, let's not even get into how insanely good an actor he is.
Yeah.
But
for his first role.
And to find the motivation to be that character and to execute that part of, a murderous child's life.
Yeah.
And to tap into sociopathy. Because, like, what does a 13-year-old normal kid on his first acting job know about being a sociopath? But he nailed it. That little moment where he goes, ha! Yeah. And this grown woman in her seat is like...
And then he goes, do you like me? And
that's a sociopath. It's crazy. And then she just like that one tear that rolls down her cheek the minute he walks out of the room because she'd just been holding it in.
No, the way he swerves in and out of
oh my God.
that role of feeling like a kid and who's like...
it
like
wasn't me.
Scared,
yeah.
But at the same time, also so confident, slamming his hand on the table,
throwing the hot chocolate. It's 100%. Crazy.
But I think the most impressive role for me was
the dad
from Stephen Graham, right? Stephen Graham, yeah. I
creator
think
and
and also
the lead,
one of the leads. But I think in that last episode, for him to be. First angry at first with his wife he's playing around and he's kind of seductive with her like it's his birthday.
Oh, the last episode.
Yeah, it starts like
that's a tough watch.
Then right away he's dealing with graffiti on his vandalism on his car. Then he's motivated to like fix the day. He goes in the car. He cheers up his family. He gets to the fucking supermarket, and that kid just ruins his mood.
His entire thing.
And the way he fucking just changes.
Yeah.
As soon as after like throwing the paint and chasing off the kids.
And there's so many.
Wait.
Yeah.
Before I get there, when he gets into the car and his son calls, and the way his whole aura changes into like the like defeated father. That is true, like diversity in 50 minutes, all in one take.
His range is crazy.
I don't think you'll ever see something like that. Like the only other crazy fucking movie where I've seen that is Wolf of Wall Street. Leonardo DiCaprio on the phone call, realizing the Quaaludes have just hit, and he goes from paranoid to just can't even fucking form a sentence or crawl to the car.
The difficulty of carrying out an hour of this range versus having 35 takes as Leo.
100%.
So it's crazy because I mean, there's also that underlying sort of what is his motivation in every single part of that episode.
Yeah.
Like he starts off his day, he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Then there's this whole moment of being like, I failed as a father.
Yeah.
Because the call from the penitentiary comes.
Yeah.
And it's this sobering thing of like, that's why they make you sit through it.
In fact, the entire episode, they don't even mention the kid or anything up until that point.
Yeah. He gets one letter. Yeah. And so, and it's his son's birthday card letter because he stares at the envelope which is addressed to them from jail.
Yeah.
And then again, you're reminded of that, and they make you sit through that phone call because that long ass intro from the penitentiary where
You're
they
now
say,
accepting a phone
you're,
call.
yeah,
from,
exactly, the collect call. So that's there, and then the kid realizing his sister and mom are in the car, which embarrasses him even more. Like, so then you have just a second, because he has 3 lines in this episode, but somehow they're able to make you change your brain to think about how he must be feeling, realizing his mom and sister are there, and his sister's choking back tears to ask him about his day. And it's just wild, the whole arc of the
heavy.
Yeah, and there's a really beautiful moment where they have this 20-minute talk about, have we failed as parents? And they're both constantly saying, no, we didn't know.
Yeah.
And then they have a beautiful opportunity to the writer had an opportunity to remind them as characters, you haven't failed, which is in their daughter. Because she dresses up, she shows up, she wants to make the day better. Yeah. So that's when you're like, you didn't fail as parents. You can't control everything that your kids are up to. You just don't know what's going on. Because if the daughter turned out to be this caring and this empathetic towards her parents, then they didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Which is actually the scariest part, the theme of this entire series is you just don't know what your kids are consuming and what they're up to.
And what's crazy is there's probably not really a big age gap between the daughter and the son.
Probably about 3 years.
But that kind of shows that the next generation, the younger generation, is experiencing life through their phone in such a fast pace, in way faster than how we discovered things on the internet
and also not realizing the permanence of death. Like, in that split second you made a decision to take somebody's life, but you as a 13-year-old can't understand that you just killed somebody with a K. That's wild. I just was it's so tenderly written for such a tough topic, and obviously goes without saying, the best executed technically I've ever seen anything on screen.
I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought he was still innocent at some point. Till the very end, I was still waiting for, no, we just found new evidence that it was actually not you and it wasn't him on camera. But that's why I think the storytelling was so good, because you're constantly waiting for what's happening next.
Can we please
to figure out,
wrap a bow around it and make it better?
Yeah, to figure out actually what am I looking at, right?
But that's the thing. This was never a whoddunit. It's a whydunit. Yeah. And finding the motivation for the killing and the context is so much more important. Because Stephen Graham did this interview, I think it was on Colbert. Yeah. Where he talks about the reason they made this series was in the span of just 1 month, two separate incidents exactly like this had happened in London, with 2 really young boys having killed girls in their school.
And knife crime in the
knife
UK
crime had gone up.
Insane.
And his whole thing was like, it's from what we're consuming and the culture around, masculinity and hyper masculinity, and teaching boys that demeaning women, harming women, possessing women.
Even the last point I'll make
is the right thing to do to prove that you're a man. And it starts now. The real point of that is it starts this young. Yeah. So
even the last point I'll say is the whole emojis thing.
Yeah. Which honestly just made me feel old.
Yeah. No, I think this happens a lot where there's always new trends on the internet and new terms that we're constantly learning. Like, I was asking them what the hell Skibidi means. I really don't know. Still don't know.
Still don't know.
Prachi, do you know what Skibidi means? No. I'm glad you don't know.
Does anyone in this room know what Skibidi means?
Okay, cool. In general, that always happens where the internet will find new ways to like just kind of educate you on what's the new slang and lingo. But the whole emojis of the different color hearts, what they mean, plus the whole incel thing and all that. The red pill, all that stuff. This happens so much on the internet because, and you want to start using all these new terms just to feel more involved and not feel left out. So I think what happens is it's like a lot of pressure, plus also bullying does, result. It does result in bullying, because if you're not like the way you see like boomers and millennials breaking down Gen Z humor today is because Gen Z like kids are like so proud of all those slangs and lingos
Oh,
that
no.
they're like, oh my God, you don't know what this is, you don't know what that is. So in weird ways, it's like generations kind of bullying each other. And the same way we will bully, like if we see someone wearing a Metallica T-shirt, and we'll be like, oh my God, have you even heard
Metallica songs.
five Metallica songs? You know what I mean? So like
I don't know any.
It's generations kind of like battling each other for like their territory.
But I think also just generations having a complete lack of understanding of each other.
Yeah, and I'm saying that territory thing of like, you don't understand us. And right now, honestly, it's
like
Gen
the biggest
Z,
version of that.
Gen Alpha, all these Gen Y or whatever. Gen X.
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha.
The youngest ones.
The youngest ones. I'm saying this is the internet is theirs.
Yeah.
Like, it's not ours anymore.
It's the 12, 13, 15-year-olds.
Like, ours was MySpace, Facebook, Bebo, all those type of things. And Instagram has been our, like for me, I look at Instagram as the music industry. Like, when you want to announce something, that's where you fucking announce it, right? So,
but for them, it's TikTok.
For them, it's TikTok.
And now there's something new. There's got to be like, Snap or something.
There must
but
be.
It's the point being that like, yeah, of course you can't know everything and watch over everything, and you can just do your best and hope that the world doesn't ruin your kids. And like, I think part of the difficulty for me right now, we're talking about adulting and everything this morning.
Yeah.
And it's tough because I want kids and I'm just so fucking scared of where I'll go wrong and what I won't catch on time. And God forbid anything happens to that little life,
I don't think I want kids yet. I definitely...
You heard it here first. We're not having children.
I look at all my, all the music I do and the videos I do. Those are my babies, and I.
Are you sure? Because Arjun asking for Prasad is fucking adorable.
I'm gonna play that clip of my
It's so
my
good.
nephew asking for Prasad.
No Prasad. That's right. No.
He found the cheat code of asking for
If
Prasad.
you do your puja, then you can ask for Prasad.
He goes, Prasad? So, and now Prasad? Okay, but I'd like to wrap this very heavy morning. We actually ordered a fairly light breakfast, and it ended up becoming quite heavy. But I think this show, and also like the content that is coming out today, like there's a lot more, the content that's coming out today is making you think way more about what we're doing online and what the effects are on our generation and future generations. And like, I'm thinking about my nephew, stepping into this, like he's not even in
He's not even Gen Alpha.
He's not even
He's
in
the
that
one
generation
younger.
yet, right?
Yeah.
So I know my sister is like raising him well, and not like Coco Melon. Oh my God. That needs to be banned. Apparently, I've heard Coco Melon has like weird, like quick point.
Damn, we about to trash Coco Melon?
Coco Melon and all these kids shows, what they do is they've like have scientists figure out how to grab kids' attention.
Oh, like subliminal messaging and shit
literally every time they notice that a kid, like when they test new episodes on kids, as soon as the kid like moves away, they'll add more lights or more music to bring it back. So and I've seen my nephews just
I'm
like,
Dora. If you subscribe to Apple Music now for $4.99, it's cheaper than getting a package deal. Bye-bye now.
honestly, like I really
Can you imagine?
despise Coco Melon. I despise Coco Melon.
Yeah. Back in the day, Dora just made you wait while that blue button was about to be clicked. He's like, do you see the red mountain?
It's right there.
It's lit, girl.
It's literally right
Turn
behind.
around. I can't. I'm two-dimensional.
Thank you so much for watching Dish and That. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, share. Follow us on Instagram and all of our private pages. And, appreciate your attention. And
I'm paying attention.
yeah. Love you.
Love
Thank
you too.